positive actions, karma, virtuous actions. We believe. But in the reality, we cannot see any good changes in our mind because we, don't practice Dharma. Yes, we try to practice Dharma for many years. Still, we cannot see any, good result, good progress because we really don't know how to practice Dharma, number one. Number two, we don't know which practice are most important. Therefore, among the practices, as a Mahayana practitioner, as a Mahayana follower, the bodhicitta is one of the most important practice. The second, with the bodhicitta, practice of emptiness is another important. If you compare two of them, which is most important? Bodhicitta, very important, right? Bodhicitta. So, number one, if you able to practice or generate bodhicitta for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, so within 1 minute, you can accumulate, lot of great merit. Someone be generous, give everything, for all sentient beings. The person accumulate a lot of merit, but if you compare with practice of bodhicitta, you cannot compare. Number one. Number two, when you practice bodhicitta, the bodhicitta must practice based on compassion, right? Compassion. When you truly practice compassion, you become very happy, peaceful person. Am I right? Peaceful person. When you become very peaceful, happy person, you don't need that much. You don't need so many things because you truly, content about your life because you don't have any sense of anger, sense of attachment. Because you don't have sense of attachment, you truly care all sentient beings. You truly, wish to happy all sentient beings. That means you accept all sentient beings are as your dear friends, your dear relatives. Then you don't have a sense of hatred. Not only that, when you practice in a great compassion, that means you got very important seeds, important, cause and condition to generate bodhicitta. Therefore, practice bodhicitta is very important. Then, second, with the bodhicitta, we need to practice emptiness, right? Emptiness. The emptiness is so difficult to realize, so difficult. Because many, we have been born in samsara for, the countless eons. In the past, like countless eon, we didn't have the opportunity to listen the teaching about emptiness. Am I right? We didn't have. Or we didn't have opportunity to receive, the pure, the truth teaching. Therefore, this is the first time, we have been receiving teaching about emptiness. Therefore, so difficult to understand. Not only that, also we don't have enough merit and enough virtues to realize emptiness. Therefore, after Buddha, fully became enlightened being, so he didn't teach Dharma for how many days? 49 days. He didn't teach. He just remained silently under the Bodhi tree. Then he walked around the Bodhi tree. That time there wasn't any Buddha statue, wasn't any stupa, just tree where he became a Buddha. He just walked around. Then, the Brahma, Indra, all of them came to see Buddha and request to Buddha give a teaching. Then Buddha said, I found the right path, the profound, luminous, pure, but nobody going to understand the teaching. That's why there's no point to teach a Dharma. But he knew very well, emptiness is so important. If we teach emptiness first time, nobody going to understand. Therefore, he taught the first time the Four Noble Truths. Right, Four Noble Truths. So when we look at the order of the teaching, it's very important. First, he laid down the foundation, put the big foundation, which is Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths. Among the Four Noble Truths, first he didn't say cessation, path. First he talked about what? Truth of suffering. Truth of suffering, right? Truth of suffering. Truth of suffering. Then he said, this is suffering. We must realize. Realize, right? So, in order to practice Dharma, we need to realize, I have a suffering. I am completely in suffer. You need to realize. Genuinely, you have to realize I am not happy in samsara. Samsara is not happy place. That's why this is the truth of suffering. You realized. You must realize the truth of suffering. If you don't realize truth of suffering, then second, you don't have any interest to practice Dharma, right? For example, when you really notice you have a serious sickness in your head or some part of body, it's very serious. The doctor says it's very serious. If you take seriously, then you will take medicine seriously. Every day, on time, until completely cure. So first realize. So we have a problem because we have been hearing, truth of suffering. We are hearing too much. So we really don't have any sense of feeling because we don't really realize. For example, in Tibet, I think 40 years before, since Tibet exists, 40 years before, nobody really know the value of the grass. Half look like warm, very expensive, right? Until before 4 years before, nobody didn't know the value. They don't care. Every day they go with the animal all around the mountain. Don't care. Now everybody fighting about it. They know the value. Therefore, first we must realize truth of suffering. Not only me suffering, all sentient beings in suffer. Truth of suffering. Why we need to realize? Because we know we are not happy. Whether you are Buddhist or non-Buddhist, whether you are human or non-human being, everybody experience the suffering. Not only experience, they don't want suffering at all. Right? Nobody wants suffering. That's my first realize. The second, Buddha taught what? Origin of suffering. Origin of the truth of suffering. Then Buddha said, yes, this is suffering, you must realize. This suffering which we have is come from causes and condition. Causes and condition, right? Look at, then he talked about cause and effect. Then all the sufferings, if there's an origin, if there's a causes and condition, then we must change the causes and condition of the suffering. The suffering will stop, right? That means truth of suffering, origin of suffering. That means mainly he talk about cause and effect. Then second, when he thought about, the origin of suffering, what he said? This is suffering, you must realize. This is origin of suffering, you must eliminate. Eliminate. If you don't want suffering, you must eliminate the origin or the cause of suffering. Otherwise, you cannot be free from suffering. That's why I say, realize truth of suffering, eliminate the cause of suffering. Eliminate. Right? Eliminate. That means realize, then eliminate. Then third, what did he say? This is cessation. Cessation. That means, yes, there's a suffering. I notice. Not only that, also I notice there's a causes and condition of suffering. Not only that, I fully understood the suffering, the cause of suffering can be eliminated. You can cease, you can eliminate. Cessation. That is what he said. This is a cessation. You must achieve. This is a suffering, you must realize. This is the origin of suffering, you must eliminate. This is the cessation, you must achieve. If you achieve cessation, then no more suffering. Right? No more suffering. The fourth, what did he say? This is a path to lead to the cessation. Path lead to cessation. Then what did he say? This is a path to cessation. You must cultivate. You must cultivate. You must practice. Right? Look at Buddha said, realize, eliminate, achieve. You can achieve if you cultivate, if you practice the path. Right? Path. That means he put very important foundation. Look at path. Now we are studying about the path. Path has two different paths. We can say Hinayana path, then Mahayana path. Am I right? Hinayana path and Mahayana path. So it's up to you. Buddha says it's up to you. If you want to be only happy yourself, you wish to happy yourself, it's still okay. You just practice, the small path, which is the Hinayana path. How? Then, based on Four Noble Truth, then you can practice the path, then you can achieve liberation. Right? Then, if you not just wish to be happy yourself, you wish to happy other being, other sentient beings, then you must practice great compassion, bodhicitta, practice the Mahayana path, Mahayana path. The Mahayana path, all practices, we can put into only two types of practices. Two types. What are they? Practice of wisdom, practice of methods. Very simple. Right? Practice of wisdom and methods. Within the methods, bodhicitta is most important. Bodhicitta include 5 perfection, put into practice of the methods. Then practice of emptiness is practice of wisdom. Wisdom, right? Let me look at. So these two practices, practice of bodhicitta, practice of emptiness, is look like two wings. If you have 2 wings, you can fly, you can cross the ocean. You can cross the ocean of samsara. Right? We are in samsara. Samsara is look like ocean. It's so big. If you really drown in it, it's so difficult to, come out. So with the true wings of bodhicitta, the wings of emptiness, you can cross the ocean of suffering, right? Emptiness. Therefore, it's so important to realize emptiness. Therefore, every day, you read the Lamrim, or you can read other book, which is explain emptiness. So not just only read. So therefore, you do purification. You just, do a lot of purification. That means in the morning, sometimes you can do prostration. So, I'm going to do prostrate to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha in order to purify all my negative karmas. Particularly, in order to purify the negative karma, which became a great obstacle to realize emptiness. Right? Purify. Not only purification, also accumulation of merit. How? Same thing. It's same activities, leading a light, making a offering, giving a helping, giving a support anybody. So you think, I'm doing this good thing. I will do this good action in order to accumulate merit for realize emptiness. Then you can engage into actions, right? If you do these two practices, mainly for realizing emptiness, then definitely, we can realize emptiness. Also, we should not think, all the masters in the past, they realized emptiness. But we cannot. You should not think. We cannot realize emptiness. You should not think. You should think Buddha Shakyamuni, Siddhartha Gautama, he was very ordinary boy. Right? So due to his own effort, study, meditation, and then he realized emptiness. Then he became Buddha. Why not we cannot? Why we cannot? In Tibet, most famous practitioner Milarepa, even Lama Tsongkhapa, Lama Marpa, all the Tibetan practitioner, they also became a Buddha. Why we cannot? At the beginning, for example, Milarepa, when he was young, he killed many people. He was very lucky. That time there wasn't like a prison, right? Otherwise he could go prison. Look at, he did a lot of mistake. He killed, his uncle, auntie, include 40, 50 people, all the animals. He destroyed all the field. He did a lot of negative karma. But he able to purify all the negative karma. Therefore, we should not think, I cannot, purify negative karma. I cannot accumulate merit. I cannot realize emptiness. I cannot cultivate bodhicitta. You should not think cannot. Never ever think I cannot. Always think I can. I can. I can practice great compassion. I can practice bodhicitta. I can realize emptiness. Am I right? Definitely. So, just one thing we cannot, we're not able to, because number one, we've been so busy, right? Very busy. Of course, particularly living in Singapore, you cannot be lazy. If you be lazy, you won't have anything. You have to be busy. There's no choice. You have to be busy. Otherwise, no life. Singapore, no busy, no life. Busy, number one. Number two, due to the busyness, we don't have enough time to study. Yes, we have a little time to study, but we don't have enough time to practice. Yes, we have a little time to study Dharma, little time to practice Dharma, but we don't have a little time to practice Dharma seriously. So we are just lacking to put enough effort. You should not think, I am not intelligent person to realize emptiness. right? No, you should not think. You should think, I have a mind, Gautama Buddha, he has a mind. Why he can, why I cannot, you should think I can realize emptiness. Therefore, it's so important to realize emptiness. Therefore, what does mean emptiness? That means there's only two truths, right? Two truths. Only two types of truth. What are they? Conventional and ultimate truth. Conventional truth, ultimate truth. Simply, so whatever we can see, we use, we talk about, everything is a conventional truth. Conventional truth, right? So far, emptiness is there, we don't realize. We don't realize. Because we never think. That means something we can see, something is there, but we cannot see. Which is we cannot see what we can call ultimate truth. Ultimate truth, or ultimate truth. Now, this, the last two classes, we really talk about, can find or cannot find. This is so, I think, difficult to understand for you. That means, is emptiness exist or not? Emptiness does exist or does not exist? What do you think? Does exist, right? Does exist. Does exist. Emptiness is there. Then, also another hand, conventional truth also exists. But when you study closely the two truths, for you so difficult to say, so difficult to believe, the true truth is there. Clear? When you closely study about the two truths, for you so difficult to believe, so difficult to accept, the two truths are there. Also, please, keep in your mind, you should not think the two truths are two separate phenomena, totally two separate phenomena. No. It looks like, we can say, mother and daughter. Mother and daughter. Right? Mother is daughter or not? Yes, mother is daughter, as well as mother is mother. Am I right? The mother is a daughter, the mother is also mother. Why we name mother? Have a child. Have a children that we call mother. Mother, right? Mother. Why we name or why we call daughter? It's a child, child, no son, we call daughter. That means one person can be both, which is mother as well as daughter. But due to different, reason. For example, one phenomena has a true nature, true aspects, true nature. One we call conventional truth, which is, based on the worldly mind, based on the worldly consciousness. For example, let's say I gave you example, this house where we are now, this house right now is what? It is TBC, Tibetan Buddhist Center. Right now is Tibetan Buddhist Center. Next day, when we move, it's become no more Tibetan Buddhist Center. It's become maybe one of the Karaoke. Definitely. If you move, it's become Karaoke. Always moving. Then, really think. One day it is TBC, next day become non-TBC. After one day, TBC move again, it become again TBC. Right? That means this thing based on the worldly concept. This called, conventional truth. The ultimate truth based on TBC. TBC is there, but TBC is not there as, do you remember? empty of, empty of intrinsic existence. Intrinsic existence. Here, not enough to say, it's not sufficient. It's not sufficient to just say. You really need to feel. You really need to feel. This TBC is there not intrinsic way, right? Is there, but not there, exists as a intrinsically, independently, ultimately, independently. So TBC exists, not exists independently. So TBC is empty of independent existence. Empty of independent existence. This means, look at TBC has a two sides. One is the conventional side, one is the ultimate side. These two is not totally separate. So one entity has a different oscillation. Right? That means when we say TBC, you just think in the conventional way. When you say, emptiness of TBC, then you think the ultimate way, ultimate nature. That means empty of intrinsic existence is the nature of TBC. That means all phenomena, permanent or impermanent, doesn't matter. All phenomena must have a two natures. Conditional nature, ultimate nature, right? Am I right? Let's say, now, just say, based on the cup. This cup is conventional phenomena, not ultimate. Now, do you really, able to accept this is a cup? Can you or cannot? Yes, we have to accept. If you're not able to accept this is cup, then you cannot accept this is table, this is house, this is. You cannot accept anything. Then you fall into annihilation. Nothing exists. Is very dangerous. That means this is a cup, right? This means exists. The cup is exists. Now there's a problem. When you closely analyze very closely, right? Look at everybody really need to think, need feel, not just about. No, it is not just enough to say. Really need to think. What is this? This is a cup. Cup. When we say this is a cup, this phenomena is always being a cup. Always being a cup? Cannot. Is this always be a cup? No. Why not? I know you're going to say, I already can feel your mind. It is impermanent, one day it's going to disappear. You think this way, right? This thing, I'm not saying this cup, I said this thing, because I better do discussion rather than the reading. This, I didn't say this cup, this thing. Before it was a symbol like plastic or symbol like a steel, metal, something, right? Then somebody put a lot of effort, then this became like this thing. Then the name is a cup. Look at now, this is cup based on our perception, our thoughts, right? Based on our thoughts, this is a cup. If there's a nobody around this cup, it's a nobody, then this is no more a cup. No more cup. It's become a just simple phenomena. No more cup, right? No more cup. For example, very simple, another, analogy. Let's say $1 cash. It's simple, it's plastic, right? In Singapore, Paper or plastic? It looks like plastic, right? Look at, just piece of plastic become $1. Piece of plastic become $100, $50, $1,000. Just piece of plastic, right? If we compare the $1 notes, this Lamrim book, which is bigger, of course this is more bigger, heavy, but it never become $1,000, right? It never become. Why not? Why not? Why the one piece of plastic become 1,000 note? This Lamrim cannot become 1,000 note. Why? Huh? Yeah. Therefore, the Tibetan monk said, the Tibetan Indian money become what? No more legal standard, right? The Prime Minister make announcement night. Today they have a lot of 500 notes, very value. Says since this morning, no more legal standard. Now, the 500 notes become simple paper. Look, somebody say it's money, this paper become money. Somebody say since today, no more money, it become no more money. Look at this piece of paper become note or become not note is depend on just, thoughts, whatever. Therefore, this is, this piece of things become a cup. So far as there's a perception, thoughts, this is a cup, it's become a cup. Cup, right? This means we should know conventional phenomena because it's based on our perception. Our perception. Right? We posit this is a cup. Now, second question. Now look at everybody accept this is a cup. Now I just take out the lid. Right? Is this cup? No more cup. If I take out the handle, no cup. Then we break into many pieces. We cannot find the cup. We make a separate. Still there's a cup, right? Cup. Then I take out the handle, take out the handle. Still there's a cup. They cut into two pieces. One is on the right side, half is on the left side. Now where's the cup? The cup goes where the cup has gone? Where? It's become two pieces. Then no more become. Broken, no cup, right? No cup. So look at, therefore, then how you can say this is a cup? Because when I closely analyze, I cannot find the cup. You cannot find the cup. Then how you can still accept there's a cup? Because when we look very closely, you cannot find. Therefore, we talk a lot of things right here, and rational analysis. Do you remember the sentence? Rational analysis cannot withstand all this conventional phenomena. Cannot withstand. Yeah. Conventional phenomena cannot withstand with the rational analysis. So when you study closely, then you feel, there's no cup. It's also wrong, right? Then when you closely study, you cannot find the cup. This is still how you can accept the cup. Now you give me answer, okay? When you closely study about the cup, you cannot find the cup. Am I right? Nobody can find the cup. That means that how you can accept the cup exists? Because I can see the problem. For example, I'm a person who debate with the Buddhist people like you. As a Buddhist people, as a Madhyamaka follower, you accept this is a cup. Cup is there, right? Cup is there. Then I say, I can see some problem because when we study closely, we cannot find the cup, no inside, neither outside, nor part, no hole. We cannot find the cup. Then how you can say the cup still exists? How you can say the cup still exists? Now you need to give me answer according to Lamrim. Right? They address the question, then how you still can say the cup exists? Do you remember? Mistakenly, you mistakenly conflicting two things. What are they? Okay. Inability to withstand with the rational analysis. Then invalidation with the reason. Because he said, because when you say you are mistakenly mixing two things together, you are right. The cup, cannot stand with the rational analysis. Yes, we say we accept. When you do the rational analysis, we cannot find the cup. Yes, you are right. We also accept. It doesn't mean the cup became. No. Two conflicting. Invalidated by reasoning. Is still, valid phenomena. The valid is established by valid cognition. It's still cup. Cup is still valid as a cup. So because when you closely study, you cannot find a cup, because that time you are searching, you are analyzing. What? Very good. Yeah. Because you are not studying there's a cup or not. You are actually analyzing the cup exists intrinsically or not. Finally, you cannot find the cup intrinsically exist. Right? That means what Lama Tsongkhapa says, when you closely analyze about the cup, you cannot find the cup. Yes, it doesn't mean you refute the cup. No, you cannot refute the cup. Actually, you refute the intrinsic existent cup. Okay? You refute the intrinsic cup, not the cup. Not the cup. That means now, in your mind, you have to be very clear. You have to be clear. Yes, cup is there. The house, my belonging, my friends, my relatives, everybody there. Everybody there. But they are not there as a intrinsic phenomena. Clear? They are not there as a intrinsic phenomena. You have to be very clear. Therefore, when you do, meditation on emptiness, first you need to visualize, or you need to think an object in your mind, like a cup. First you say, this is a cup, because it functions as a cup. What is the unique function of the cup? Holding liquids, water. Let's say, then what about the pot? Pot is cup? Because pot able to hold the water, liquid. Is pot a cup? No, why not? Yeah. Why not? Why not the pot is cup? Why not our stomach is cup? It's hold water, coffee, tea, right?
Other function.
Is our stomach is cup or not? No, right? Cup never says stomach is a cup. Nobody will say. Why not?
Because we name it.
Huh?
Label.
Therefore, why cannot label stomach as a cup? Why cannot? Why cannot? Let's say pot, cook like a rice cooker. So rice cooker and cup, we put together, on the one table. This is a cup. This is the rice cooker. Rice cooker is not a cup. Cup is not the rice cooker. It's two different phenomena, right? Then somebody asks, why this is a cup? Why not the rice cooker is cup? So what is the functionality of rice cooker? Cook rice. Can we cook rice in the cup? Definitely, you can cup, like 2-3 spoon rice and put in the cup. You can cook rice, right? Yes. For example, fry pan. The bigger example, fry in the cooker rice cooker. A rice cooker can function as a fry pan. The fry pan can function as a rice cooker. Then why not the rice cooker is fry pan? Why not the fry pan is not a rice cooker? Why not? Why not?
People don't generally accept it.
Huh? Why not? Why not? Yeah, very good. That's why what Chandrakirti says, whatever the worldly posit, we just follow. Don't do the rational analysis on the conventional phenomena. Clear? Chandrakirti said, whatever worldly being, that's mean we human being, posit, this is a cup, this is a rice cooker, this is a house, we just accept, we just follow them. We should not do rational analysis on the conventional phenomena. If you do rational analysis on the conventional phenomena, then conventional phenomena you cannot posit. Then you're going to, you cannot accept. That means the conventional phenomena we just accept as a there. Right there. We should not do, lot of analytical study about the conventional phenomena. The second, so about the emptiness, then why we need to, use the rational analysis? Why? Do we use rational analysis? Rational analysis? Yes, we do rational analysis. For what? For what? Huh? Yes. Look at below the Madhyamaka school, below the other schools, Madhyamaka school, they accept, they assert all phenomena exist ultimately, and another what we call essentially. That means so important. This is a cup. Is a cup. The cup exists ultimate level, as ultimately, right? Ultimately. So rest of the school says this cup exists ultimately, essentially. Then now, if the cup exists, if the cup could exist ultimately, then you, through the rational analysis, you must found the ultimate cup, right? When you do rational analysis on the cup, you cannot find the cup as a intrinsic cup. That means rational analysis we need to use if the cup could exist ultimately, through the rational analysis, you must find the cup, right? Because you say the cup exists ultimately, intrinsically. So when we do analysis, we cannot find the cup. That means the cup is there, but not there as an intrinsic phenomena, right? Therefore, so when you do meditation on emptiness, first you remember a cup or whatever, you remember something. First you think, this is there. The how it is there, right? Therefore, rest of the four other schools say this cup, everything exists intrinsically. Then among the Madhyamaka, there are two schools, right? What are they? Pasangika and first there's a fourth school. Number one, the lower school one, Vavashika. Number two, Sutantika. Number three, Chitamantara. Number four, Madhyamaka. Within the Madhyamaka, there are two, Pasangika, Sutantika. Right? There's a very interesting. According to the the Pasangika, this is just merely label. All phenomena exist merely label. Then, Sutantika said, no, it's not just merely label, it's two together. Something exists from the object side. Clear? Something come from object side. Something come from subject side. Two compound, then you can say cup. You can say, rice cooker. You can say house. Two together, right? Something come from the object side. Something come from the subject side. Then we can say this is a cup. Otherwise, they say if everything is a mainly label, then everything became everything. Rice cooker become fry pan become rice cooker become cup become rice cooker, because you can give a name, right? For example, in order to become a king, the person is a king. They need something, otherwise everybody cannot become a king. Am I right? Cannot. They say half from the object side, half from the subject side. They can say this is a cup, Sutantika. But Pasangika said no. Nothing can come from the object side. From the object side, from its own side, there's a not is a zero. Therefore we call emptiness. And in Sanskrit, what we call? In English, we call emptiness. In Chinese, what you call? Kong, Kongshin, Kong, right? Kong means empty. In Sanskrit, what you call? Om Shunata, Shunna, Shune. Shune means zero. Because when you say, let's say 3, 2, 1, then become Shune. Shune means zero. That means when you study very closely, finally it's become totally empty. Empty. They say, Pasangika say, none of phenomena, exists from the object side, its own side cannot, own side totally zero. It's just mainly label. For example, the dollar, $1, $2, For example, in the past, there wasn't a cash, right? In the past only gold, silver, diamond, no cash. Right? No cash, no paper. Slowly, that piece of paper become like a money, like cash. Like cash, paper become like a gold and diamond. This means you can see only merely label. Therefore, last two classes, we study what? All conventional phenomena there, but when you do rational analysis, you cannot find the any conventional phenomena, right? Then some masters said, all conventional phenomena are refuted by rational analysis, refuted. Then Lama Tsongkhapa said, through rational analysis, you cannot find the conventional phenomena. It doesn't mean you refute, conventional phenomena, but it doesn't mean you refute. You cannot find, but it doesn't mean you refute. For example, do you remember ice consciousness? Air consciousness. The analogy, how does it work? The sound cannot perceived by eyes consciousness, it doesn't mean the eyes consciousness refute the sound. Same thing, through rational analysis, you cannot find the conventional phenomena. It doesn't mean the conventional phenomena refuted by the rational analysis. Then do you remember there's a 4 differentiation, 4. We thought we were looking at Lamrim. Huh? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Lama Tsongkhapa differentiate very clearly. Somebody think this is identical, but it's totally different. There's a number 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. What are they? Huh? I ask you read page 5, right? 5 pages. Huh? Okay, now you can open the books. Huh? 158. Yes, when you open Lamrim, you can see that. Very good. Yeah. Look, therefore, even some earlier scholars, not to mention those today, seem to have edited by not differentiating and instead, considering identical. The following phrase. Number 1, please read. Number 1. Zen. So, Lama Tsongkhapa differentiate very clearly, right? Something unable to withstand rational analysis. For example, any phenomena, simply we can say any phenomena unable to withstand rational analysis. Clear? For example, this is a cup. When you do rational analysis, you cannot, the cup unable to withstand rational analysis. Clear? Do you understand? The cup unable to withstand rational analysis. Clear? For you clear? Are you sure? Cannot. Cannot. Why? Why the cup unable to withstand rational analysis? Intrinsic cup. Because you say, when you do rational analysis on the cup, finally the cup going to look like disappear, no more there. Right? That means the cup unable to withstand rational analysis. Is you are right. But it doesn't mean the cup became invalidated by reasoning. This means invalidated, validated, then say opposite. What is the opposite? Validated, right? Validated. That means invalidated means is linked with the valid cognition. Do you remember? Valid and invalid cognition. Can you give me an example of the valid cognition? For example, okay, eye consciousness see the cup. So look at somebody say example of the the valid cognition is the eye consciousness, which is see the cup, right? When the eyes consciousness perceive the cup, the eyes consciousness is the valid cognition. Can you give me an example based on the eyes consciousness, the invalid cognition? Based on eyes consciousness. First is clear, the eyes consciousness, which is perceive the cup, The us consciousness which perceive the cup is valid cognition, because the wise consciousness is the cognition, cognizer. Is cognize what? Cognize the cup. This way, cognizer. Cognize what? Cup. Then the wise consciousness is the valid cognition. Why? Okay, before I listen, can you give me the analogy, example, invalid cognition based on eyes consciousness? Huh? Yeah. For example, in the easy way, we can say, the eyes consciousness which perceive the yellow snow mountain. Yellow snow mountain. Usually, snow mountain is white. When you see the snow mountain is yellow, that time you have a eyes consciousness. The eyes consciousness perceive what? Snow mountain, but the yellow snow mountain. This consciousness is invalid consciousness because it perceives a yellow snow mountain. Yellow snow mountain is non-existent phenomena, right? Because usually snow mountain is white. That means first you know the valid consciousness and invalid consciousness. That means all phenomena established by the valid consciousness, valid cognizer. That means, look at this thing exists or not. This thing exists or not is very much depend on established by the valid cognition. Without valid cognition, you cannot say this exists. Right? That means first you know the valid cognition and invalid cognition. Second, established by valid cognition. For example, the cup is established by the valid cognition. The yellow snow mountain is not established by the valid cognition. That means snow mountain is cup is exists. Yellow snow mountain does not exist because it is not established by valid cognition. For example, when you go, for example, in the court case, when when people fighting about property or some reason finally they have to go to court. When they go to court, there's a two, what you call lawyer, right? Lawyer. Both lawyers is fighting about something. Then both lawyers have to prove with some valid thing. In invalid, they cannot prove, right? Therefore, the thing is established or not. The things exist or not is very much depend on the valid cognition. Established by valid cognition, things exist, existent phenomena. Not established by a valid cognition, the thing is non-existent phenomena. Right? That means, yes, all conventional phenomena unable to withstand with the rational analysis, but it doesn't mean it become invalidated through reasoning. It's still, it is not invalidated phenomena. It is a valid phenomena, number one. Number two, non-perception of production and noble being, wisdom, or meditative equipoise. What does mean? Can you read one more, please? Number two. Being, wisdom, or meditative equipoise. Do you understand this sentence? the non-perception of production. Right? Number one. Also, the non-perception of product cessation by noble beings, wisdom, meditative equipoise. Then, second, look at the perception of production and cessation as non-existent by noble being, wisdom, or meditative equipoise. Now, first is quite clear, right? All phenomena unable to withstand rational analysis is we accept, but we don't accept all phenomena invalidated by reasoning. We accept. Number two, here you need to know the noble being's wisdom of meditative equipoise. There's a lot of words, noble being, right? Noble being. Noble being opposite of is the ordinary being. Okay, ordinary and noble being differentiate based on realization of no. Realization of how you can differentiate between ordinary being and noble beings based on seeing, realizing emptiness through direct perception. Realizing emptiness through direct perception. That means, you know what's noble being. Noble being means the being, doesn't matter he or she, the being who able to perceive emptiness through direct perception, that we can call noble being. Noble, right? They say noble beings. Wisdom. Noble being has many different levels of wisdom. Clear? For example, noble beings realize impermanence. Am I right? Impermanence. The mind which is realized impermanence is also wisdom. Wisdom. The mind which is realized emptiness is also wisdom. Generally, can you really understand what the meaning of wisdom? We Tibetan call share up, like wisdom. Look at, in order to, generate compassion, in order to cultivate compassion, do you need a lot of reasoning? Do you need a lot of study? No. For example, when you see somebody totally suffered, innately, automatically, you feel, you generate compassion, arise sense of caring. You no need to do a lot of study, reasoning, right? No. That's why the wisdom, because share up, means in order to realize emptiness, in order to arise that kind of wisdom, you need to do lot of study, lot of research, lot of study, lot of analytical meditation. That we call the wisdom in the mind, which is arise through a lot of logics and reasoning, that we call wisdom. For example, realize subtle impermanence is wisdom. Realize emptiness, also wisdom. This means noble being, wisdom. Now, first you need to know the meaning of noble being. Clear? What is the meaning of noble being? The being who realizes emptiness through direct perception. Like, there's another we call, do you remember there's another name? Direct perception? No. Inferential mind. Right? For example, how we can realize emptiness through direct perception? How? Let's say, because right now we have been studying about emptiness. Emptiness we cannot perceive through our eyes consciousness. We cannot see the emptiness through our naked eye. Right? Eyes, right? Cannot. How we can realize emptiness? Yeah, reasoning and logic. That means you really have to think for many times. You need to think a lot of things. You put a lot of thoughts, many times. That means actually you are thinking through your sixth mind. Right? That means first you think how things exist. You put a lot of thoughts. Finally you think, all phenomena is there, but they are not there as independent entity. Right? That means in your mind you got some idea how things exist. And this idea you keep continuously practice. Then slowly it's become more clear. Then one day you can see the emptiness directly through your sixth mind. That means you have to put a lot of effort. You need to do a lot of meditation, emptiness. Then we said direct perception, means then the sixth mind can see emptiness as our eyes can see the form. Direct perception. Okay, that means look at noble being, then wisdom. Not only that, then you can see next one, wisdom, meditative equipoise. What does it mean? That means the noble being, he or she perceives emptiness directly, that his mind fully meditate on emptiness, equipoise, meditative equipoise. When the practitioner fully meditate on emptiness through direct perception, he or she can see only emptiness. Only emptiness. The person who fully meditates on emptiness through direct perception, he or she can see only emptiness, nothing else. Okay, nothing else, only emptiness. Emptiness. That means that moment, look at the noble being's wisdom or meditative equipoise, the perception of the production and cessation non-existent by noble beings. That means that time, the non-perception of production, cessation by noble being, wisdom, meditative equipoise. That means the noble being who meditated on emptiness through direct perception, he or she cannot perceive production. He or she cannot perceive the cessation of the production. Okay? That means when you meditate on emptiness through direct perception, you can see only emptiness. You cannot see production. Because why that time the meditator cannot see production? Why? What reason? Yeah, meditative equipoise, because he meditates on the ultimate phenomena. That time he or she cannot perceive any conventional phenomena. Clear? Phenomena. Therefore, he or she cannot perceive the production, because production is conventional phenomena. Okay, I will ask question. So you need to reply, then you become more clear. The noble beings, wisdom of meditative equipoise, can see production or cannot see production? Cannot see production. Can perceive production or not? Cannot. Cannot see, perceive the production. It's clear that cannot see, because production is conventional phenomena. The conventional phenomena cannot see, cannot perceive when the mind meditates on emptiness directly. Cannot see. For example, when you look around, for example, what you can see, lid of the cup, what you can see, cup. Can you see both? Yes, you can both. When you say I saw both, that time can you say the lid is separately? Can you see separately? For example, when you say I saw both of you, that time generally you perceive two things together, not separately, right? When you see a cup, that moment you cannot see the lid of the cup. When you see the lid of the cup, you cannot see the cup. But for us, we think, oh, I saw everything. I say we saw everything, but you saw everything. Yeah, one by one, not all up together. Why? Why you cannot see everything at the same time? Huh? Why? Yeah, because when you see something, your cognitive obscuration, when you see something, you are seeing, you are perceiving as something, right? That time your consciousness has an image of the phenomena. For example, when you have a mirror, when you turn into the flower, you can see flower. When you turn, you can see another object. When you see a cup, you have an image of the cup. When you see the, like book, you have an image of the book. When you have an image of the book in your eyes, you cannot have an image of the cup. Right? That means one consciousness cannot have two different images at the same time. But for us, look like we see everything at the same time, but not, because the function is so fast. You cannot see everything at the same time, okay? Therefore, you can see they cannot perceive the production because production is conventional phenomena. Conventional phenomena cannot be seen by the noble being wisdom of meditative equipoise. Right? Clear? Clear. Now second verses. We say, the perception of production and cessation non-existent. Can you accept non-existent production, non-existent cessation? Can you accept or cannot? Cannot, because production is existent phenomena. It's not non-existent phenomena, right? That means the noble being's wisdom, meditative equipoise cannot perceive the production, but it doesn't mean the noble being equipoise establish the non-existent production. This is, the conclusion like that. So once you read, please, the non-perception of production and cessation by a noble being's wisdom, meditative equipoise, versus the presence of production and cessation as non-existent by noble being wisdom. They cannot perceive, it doesn't mean it is not existed by noble being wisdom, meditative equipoise. Number 3, by production, consciousness, which existent. The number 1, number 2 is quite clear. Number 3 is a bit difficult. Look at the non-discovered by production and cessation by reasoning consciousness. Now reasoning consciousness, right? Reasoning consciousness. So you should not mix up reasoning analysis and reasoning consciousness. Okay? The reasoning analysis is kind of reasoning and logics. The consciousness which is arise based on reasoning. Reasoning, right? That means the reasoning consciousness, non-discovery, the reasoning consciousness cannot discover production and cessation. Cannot. It doesn't mean it discover the production and cessation as non-existent. That means when you analyze the cup, when the cup analyzed through the reasoning consciousness, okay, clear? Not so. I look like totally darkness, huh? Yeah. Oh, what should I do? What can I do? Doesn't work. Even the one month break doesn't work. Okay, have a break, then we can go, a little bit. Then we really go through. I think better to go through the experience. Definitely, this subject is, this topic is very difficult, but it's very important. Very important. So right now we said, the noble beings equipoise, right? Non-perception of production and cessation by noble beings' wisdom, meditative equipoise. This means the noble beings' wisdoms of meditative equipoise, they cannot, not perceive the production and cessation, because production and cessations are conventional truth. Therefore, conventional truth never be perceived, never be had seen by the noble being wisdom of meditative equipoise. For example, as a ordinary being, when you fully absorb on the music, one's song, you fully focus. You are very focused on one music, one song, right? That time somebody talk to you, can you hear? You cannot hear, right? You cannot hear. Hey, ni tuner. Very, very naughty student.
Can I get you one, Master?
No. I have water. Thank you. Okay. So when you fully, absorb on a music or song, somebody says something, you cannot hear, because your mind is fully focused on one, object. Same thing, when you fully focus on emptiness, in your mind, you just absorb the emptiness. That time, you can see merely only emptiness. You cannot see any other phenomena. Okay, another phenomena. Definitely all the conventional phenomena. That means all the conventional phenomena cannot perceived by the noble beings meditative equipoise. It doesn't mean the non-existent, okay? The non-existent production and cessation found, right, discovered by the noble beings meditative equipoise. Non-perception of production and cessation by noble beings wisdom meditative equipoise, the perception of production and cessation as non-existed by noble being wisdom meditative equipoise. That means he's the noble being. I said the noble being mean particularly, noble being not necessarily always meditate on emptiness. The noble being sometimes meditate on bodhicitta, sometimes emptiness. When he or she meditate on bodhicitta, that time he cannot perceive emptiness. When he or she meditate on emptiness, he cannot perceive other phenomena. Same thing. That means particularly the noble being who fully meditate on emptiness, the noble being cannot perceive the production. Because production is conventional phenomena, cannot perceive. It doesn't mean the non-production, non-existent production, established by the noble being wisdom. That's mean you have to differentiate this. Number 3. No, please read. Consciousness which analyze resistance. Okay, this is a bit difficult to understand. Bit. Oh yeah. Now here the non-discover of production and cessation by reasoning consciousness, which is analyzed whether they intrinsically exist. Now here you have to know one thing: reasoning consciousness. That means the mind, the consciousness, which is analyzed about the intrinsic existence. Okay, the consciousness which is analyzed, the thing exists intrinsic or not. This we call the reasoning consciousness. Do you understand? Reasoning consciousness mean the consciousness which is analyzed, the phenomena exists intrinsically or not. This mind we call reasoning consciousness, right? That means the reasoning consciousness cannot discover intrinsically existent, right? That means the non-discovery of production and cessation by a reasoning consciousness, then pause, which the mind, right, the reasoning consciousness, which is analyzed whether they intrinsically existent or not. That means the reasoning consciousness analyze about what? Production, cessation. Clear? The reasoning consciousness analyze what? Production and cessation. When the reasoning consciousness analyze production and cessation, analyze about what? Analyze the production about they intrinsically existent or not. Okay, clear? The reasoning consciousness analyze what phenomena? Analyze production. For example, production. When the reasoning consciousness analyze production, they are not analyzing the production is exists or not. No. They are analyzing the production exists intrinsically or not. Right? Not. That means the non-discover of the production cessation by reasoning consciousness, which is analyzed whether they are not, they discover, now it's been important, the discover the production and cessation are non-existent. Is very important. The reasoning consciousness, the reasoning mind, analyze production. Clear? Analyze what? Production. They analyze the production is exists or not? No. The reasoning mind not merely analyzing the production is exists or not. They analyze more about the production exists intrinsically or not. Right? Not. When the reasoning consciousness analyze the production exists intrinsically or not, then they cannot find the production. They cannot find the production. They cannot find any phenomena. It doesn't mean, okay, they that discover the production and cessation non-existent. That means when they analyze, they cannot find the production. It doesn't mean they found non-existent production. Okay, it doesn't mean the reasoning mind found non-existent production. No. When they analyze about production, they cannot find the production. It doesn't mean, the non-existent production found by the reasoning mind. Okay? Therefore, the intelligence should analyze this is a detail and make carefully distinction. So please, this number 3, you read more and more in a few times and think very carefully. When you really differentiate, this, then for you very easy to, eliminate all the doubts. Very easy to, analyze emptiness, realize emptiness. In seeing this, we do not assert that the conventional consciousness is more powerful than the knowledge of the ultimate. Now here, two truths, okay? Which is more important? Ultimate. Why? Okay. Which is more important for you, conventional and ultimate truth? Which one more important? Both. Yes, both. You should know it's ultimate. Look at, without conventional phenomena, you cannot posit ultimate phenomena. Without ultimate phenomena, you cannot posit conventional phenomena. That means true phenomena is look like one coin, two sides. For example, $1, right? Singapore $1. One has all the pictures. Other side is totally empty. Nobody can accept. Am I right? The dollar must have a complete picture both sides. That means for us, doesn't matter conventional or ultimate, both are very important. You have, when you think about ultimate phenomena, other side you have think conventional. When you think about conventional, you have to think about ultimate. Therefore, because true truth never, discriminate. You look very balancedly, two truths. Therefore, the mind, there's two types of mind. In saying this, we do not assert the conventional consciousness is more powerful than the knowledge of the ultimate. So there's two types of consciousness. One is the conventional consciousness, second is the ultimate consciousness. It doesn't mean the mind is ultimate. The mind which is perceive the conventional phenomena we call conventional consciousness. The mind which is perceive the ultimate phenomena we call the knowledge mind or in ultimate consciousness. So please don't mix up when you say ultimate. There's a true meaning is very important. We say emptiness is ultimate phenomena. Sometimes we say nothing exists ultimately, right? Nothing exists ultimately. Then you feel, it's big confusion. When you say ultimate phenomena, mean there's a true phenomena. When you study the conventional phenomena, is quite their nature is not the final nature. So when you study about the conventional phenomena, you can see there's another nature than the conventional phenomena. Another nature is more fine, is a very final nature. This we call ultimate. Also in general we call ultimate happiness. My ultimate friend, right? Use these kind of words. So when it's ultimate, there's a two meaning. One is the emptiness, is called ultimate phenomena. Ultimate. Also the negation, right? Negation and emptiness. The negation also sometimes we use ultimate. Nothing exists ultimately. Nothing exists inherently. Nothing exists independently. Right? That means when you see ultimate, when you think about the fine nature, one is the negation. Ultimate, nor do we accept the conventional consciousness contradict knowledge of the ultimate. Right? That means for us, we're not going to say the conventional consciousness is more powerful than the knowledge of the ultimate. Also, we're not saying, conventional consciousness contradict with the knowledge of the ultimate. Cannot. However, you claim that the rational analysis of the reality refute conventional form, feeling, and so forth. So, yes, you says, the person said what he or she said. The rational analysis of reality refute the conventional form. We don't accept. You cannot find the conventional phenomena, but it doesn't mean you can refute forms and feeling and so forth. When it analyzes them and does not find them, it does not refute them. Right? It does not find is right, but it doesn't mean they refute them. In fact, the Menden's knowledge, here look at now we have three things: conventional consciousness, knowledge of ultimate consciousness. Then the third one, the Menden's knowledge will contradict any attempt of refuting conventional phenomena. The Menden's knowledge means our mind, ordinary being's mind, condensed mind. The Menden's knowledge, which is our mind, will contradict any attempt of refuting conventional phenomena. Right? Now it's so important. When you analyze the conventional phenomena, when you use the rational analysis, when you use the rational analysis about the conventional phenomena, you cannot find the conventional phenomena. It doesn't mean the rational analysis refute the conventional phenomena. If you refute the conventional phenomena, then you going to contradict with the Menden's knowledge, Menden minds. For example, look at we everybody say this is house, right? This is car, this is table. So when you do rational analysis, you cannot find anything. If you refute anything, then you are totally contradict with the Menden's knowledge, the Menden's mind, right? Therefore, you must know conventional consciousness, then ultimate consciousness, the Menden's consciousness. Next, the middle way. If you think that the world does not contradict you, right? If you refute the conventional phenomena, if you think that the world does not contradict you, then refute something that is best right in the world. You and the world can argue about it. Afterward, I will follow the stronger party. Right? So, we have a conventional phenomena, we have a ultimate phenomena. If you refute conventional phenomena, you are going to contradict with the worldly concept, worldly, like mundane knowledge. That means Chandrakirti says the person, first you argue, okay, you and the world argue together, then the worldly become more stronger, I will follow the worldly being. If you become more stronger, I will follow after you. That means definitely worldly being become more violent, more stronger. Because the conventional phenomena posed by worldly being, right? Worldly being. For example, I think what I thought about this. For example, In Singapore, eating beef is not illegal or legal. It's okay, right? It's okay. It's legal. Legal. So let's say you are, Singapore, so you are taking beef. So you have this is okay in Singapore, right? So if you go to India, in part of not all over, if you go to Himachal like Dharamshala, if you take beef, it's totally illegal. Totally illegal. That means look at something is right in one place. When you go somewhere, it's totally wrong, right? Then you should not say, I'm Singaporean. For us, okay. That time you are not in Singapore, you are in India. That means, look at, if you live to stay with the, the society, so you have to follow with the, like a society, right? Society. That means the conventional phenomena established by mainly the mundane mind or conventional mind. So even though you are arhat, you are arya, you realize emptiness. Still you need to accept the worldly being as what worldly being says. Worldly being said, this is a table. Arya also said, yeah, this is a table. He or she cannot say it's not table because I realize emptiness. Cannot, right? Therefore, we should not discriminate between ultimate and conventional. We look balancedly. Okay, next class, we will start the valid establishment. It's very similar. Okay, now, let's say, I think we have to go through the kind of more experience level. Okay, everybody please close the Lamrim book. So for next time when you come, please read in all pages about the valid establishment. Okay, now we go through, kind of experiment. Now everybody imagine, like say, a cup in your mind. Just imagine a cup. It's not just imaginary, but you see real cup. The cup which is in your mind, is it ultimate phenomena? Asking question. It is ultimate phenomena? No. It is conventional phenomena? Yes. The cup in your mind, the cup, it's simple as it be easy to say the cup, because everybody remember the cup, different cups. Is the cup is conventional phenomena?
Yes.
Is it ultimate phenomena? No. Why not ultimate phenomena? Because it is established by the conventional mind. It is not ultimate phenomena because it is established by the conventional phenomena. Is the cup is existent phenomena or non-existent phenomena? Is phenomena. The cup, karma, next life, production, cessation, all of them existent phenomena. Why those phenomena are existent phenomena? Why? Why? Please reply. Because all these phenomena established by valid cognition. Look at, that means the phenomena is existent phenomena or non-existent phenomena. It is depend on established by valid cognition. The thing established by valid cognition, the thing is existent phenomena. The thing is not established by valid cognition, then the thing is non-existent phenomena. Clear? Very clear. Now, we go through more precisely. Is the cup is existent phenomena? Yes. So, if you say the cup is existence phenomena, then let's do some, close experiment, close study. So, which is really cup? The lid of the cup is a cup? Yes or no? No. The handle of the cup is a cup? No. Okay, now we separated the lid, separated the handle. Now the cup become handleless cup, right? No handle, no lid. Now look at from the eastern side, from the cup. The eastern side of the cup is a cup. Please reply. Eastern side of the cup is a cup? No. The western side? No. The northern side? Southern side? That means when we do close analysis, we found the lid is not a cup, the handle is not a cup, the eastern side, western side, southern side, northern side, all side is not a cup. Now you look at inside. Can you find the cup inside of the cup? Cannot. Then when we, use the rational analysis, we cannot find the cup. Is it? Can you or cannot? Cannot find the cup. Then is the cup refuted by rational analysis? No. Is refuted by rational analysis because you cannot find the cup when you use the rational analysis. When you use the rational analysis, the cup unable to stand with the rational analysis. So therefore, the cup is the cup refuted by rational analysis? No, cannot refute. Is refuted because it cannot find through rational analysis. That means now you can see, right? You cannot find through rational analysis, but still we have to accept this a cup. Then is the cup become invalid phenomena? No. Is the cup become invalid phenomena because it is cannot found by a rational analysis? Now you have to say you are mistakenly conflicting the two things, which is unable to withstand with the rational analysis with the invalidation by reasoning. You have to say this one, because yes, when you do rational analysis, you cannot find the cup. It doesn't mean the cup become invalid object. It's still the valid object. You are mixing two things. For us, it's totally different. Right? They are clear. Then, number 2, how you can say the phenomena, the conventional phenomena is existent because it is non-existent phenomena. You say, no, the conventional phenomena are not non-existent phenomena, those are existent phenomena. Right? Is it right? Yes. No. The non-existent, so do you accept production or production or no. Do you accept production? Yes, we accept production. We accept cessation. We accept conventional phenomena. Right? We accept. You cannot accept because those conventional phenomena are non-existent phenomena. You say, no. In Singapore language, you can say, no la. No la. Is there exist there? No. No. It's not non-existent phenomena. Then I say, yes, it is non-existent phenomena because it is perceived as a non-existent phenomena. Okay? Clear? It is perceived as a non-existent phenomena by noble beings' wisdom equipoised. Then you say, again you are mistakenly conflicting the two things, which is not perceived by noble being equipoise versus seeing by noble being equipoise. So you have to say this difference. You have to distinguish. That means the noble beings' wisdom equipoise cannot see the production. That means the non-production, non-cessation established by the noble being wisdom equipoise. Right? That means you have to think, when you meditate on emptiness, you cannot see the conventional phenomena. It doesn't mean the conventional phenomena became non-existent. Right? Non-existent. Number 2. Number 3. What's the number 3? Oh, not discovered by rational analysis, right? Oh, yeah, rational consciousness. Non-discovered by rational consciousness and versus. That means when you use the rational mind, when you through the rational mind, when you analyze the production, you cannot find the production as a intrinsic existence. Clear? When rational mind analyze the production exists intrinsically or not, yes, they cannot find the production exists as a intrinsic phenomena. Right? Phenomena. It doesn't mean you found the non-existent production. No, it means you found the non-existent production. No, it's totally true. These two are totally different. Different, right? That means every time when we have a Thara Puja or we have a Dharma Protector Puja, we always say, Oma Sombhava Shuddha, Savadharma Sombhava Shuddha, Hang, right? All phenomena become empty within the empty state. When you say this kind of, when you chant this kind of verses, you just think, first thing, all phenomena, imagine all phenomena. Then you think, through your rational analysis, you try to find the object exists intrinsically or not. So when you use the rational analysis, when you use the rational mind, then you cannot find any phenomena exists as a intrinsic existence. That means you are trying to find the fine nature, which is emptiness. Right? Now, for us, what we call, sometimes we say, I think, when we receive teaching from the, Galden Rinpoche, so through the, I think at the Marina Bay, right, some of you attend about the two aspect of, well, it was in the ABC, right, ABC. No, depending the good quality in the ABC. I think some of you attend. Even though, look, you can check here, because we chant many times, right? What's the page number? 6-9, right? Huh? Yeah, page 9. 9, then let's, I will show you one word here. Number 10. Number 10, page number 10. One who sees the infallible cause and effect of all phenomena in samsara and nirvana and destroy the all focus of the apprehension has entered the path with the bliss by Buddha. Right? That means cause and effect. Cause and effect is not really talking about the real cause and effect. That means cause and effect. That means all the conventional phenomena look like effect, like a result, effect. Emptiness look like cause. Emptiness as a cause. Cause. It doesn't mean emptiness is as conventional phenomena. No. Emptiness is the cause. Ultimate phenomena is a cause. Conventional phenomena is a effect. Why we call cause and effect? For example, all phenomena, if nature is not their nature is not emptiness, then they have to exist as a independent. Right? Independent. Have to exist independent. If they exist as independent, then they cannot change. It's independent, cannot change. Therefore, the nature is empty. Due to the empty nature, then things coming to exist, going to despair. Coming to exist, going to disappear, because the nature is empty. Therefore, emptiness is the cause. Ultimate conventional phenomena look like effect. Right? That means without emptiness cannot be possible. Do you remember the one sentence from Nagarjuna? Do you remember the sentence? No. Emptiness is possible. Empty is possible. Right? Emptiness
makes sense, everything makes sense.
Huh?
Emptiness makes sense,
Yeah, you are right. Emptiness makes sense, everything makes sense. Emptiness doesn't make sense, nothing makes sense. That's mean look at emptiness, you look at cause, everything is an effect. So you think this way. So today we can stop here, almost 5:30. So please don't forget the homework. How many pages? Huh? Yeah, mainly you just study about the valid establishment. Okay? So thank you so much for continuously attending this chapter. It's very difficult, but I really appreciate, none of you really give up.